Welcome back to the notorious RC Speed Shop. We're going to do some more dyno hits tonight. What we have on the dyno right now is our drag bug, and what we want to do is we want to make a few hits using different pinion gears, and then we want to make a comparison of the torque, horsepower, and top speed using the different pinion gears that we're going to have on there. One thing right now, I'm presently running the Traxxas 12-turn 550 motor, and in another video what we're going to do is we're going to swap that out with the Selenium system, and then after we do that we'll try a few castle creation systems as well and try to make a determination as to how we can get the best speed, torque, and horsepower out of one of these drag slash vehicles. This rig right here, you'll see when I take the body off, was basically made using a Traxxas Bandit that I've gone through. It has a Bandit front axle, a Bandit back axle, and then I've made a custom frame to hook everything together and get it extended out to the slash wheelbase. On the computer we have everything pretty much ready to go. I just need to put in a file name and then we're going to make a test hit. The first gear that's in there is a 31 tooth. We're running a 2-cell lipo. That's a 5200 I believe with an 80C maximum output current. So we're going to go ahead without further ado and start doing some runs. So this is a 31 tooth. This is the largest pinion gear I can fit on with this motor combination. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. So we're ready in 3, 2, 1. Here comes the 25 tooth in 3, 2, 1. Horsepower is going up, max speed is going up. Do this again. Three, two, one. Very similar to the previous run. So we're ready to go with the 21 tooth pinion gear right now and see what its torque versus horsepower curve looks like. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. So we'll do a power run with 14 tooth. Three, 2, 1, go. pretty slow. We'll do one more. Three, two, one. So what we want to do here, and what we're going to see, basically, there's our last run. We're going to add a few of the other runs into here. And we're adding the 14 tooth right now. Just go with number 2 on that one. And right there we can see how changing our basically pinion gear can change and affect everything from top speed to torque and horsepower. If we look up here, we can see that the 14 tooth was 23 miles an hour and the 31 tooth I was able to hit 33.8. When we come over here and we look at the maximum power that we're outputting, with the taller gear we are putting out more power and we're actually getting a little more torque, which surprises me just a little bit there. But that's what the numbers are showing at this point. The time frames are fairly consistent. We'll see that for whatever reason the 25 tooth pinion gear did take a little bit longer for the maximum torque to set, whereas with the shorter gears like the 14 and 21 we saw maximum torque much earlier, which makes sense. I think I just got a really good hit with that 31 tooth gear in there, and you can see the differences in how I ramped them. But for the most part, if we look at these curves here, it's kind of interesting to see the difference in the slopes of the lines and also the differences in the maximum torque and horsepower that we're able to put out. So that's where we're at tonight. It's going to take a little more analysis. So one thing I did, I went away for just a moment here and I went through all of the graphs and found all the best hits with each pinion gear basically. What's interesting to see is the 2 right there is actually the difference between a 25 and a 31 tooth pinion gear, which means they were very close. The other interesting thing to look at is, with the exception of the 14 tooth, the timing where the maximum torque and horsepower occurred is very close, very similar. Now if we go over here to the side though, we can see the drastic change in RPM and in horsepower or miles per hour with that. So we can see that we're achieving a higher mile per hour with the taller gear, which is expected. So we'd need to play around a little bit more to see exactly which one would do best based on the exact type of racing we're doing. But again, so when we compare all these curves, torque versus horsepower, it's quite interesting to just see where everything plays out. Finally, one last thing that we're going to look at here tonight that comes out and plays very interesting is where the top speed occurs. What we'll see, the bottom line there is your 14 tooth gear. We can see that it occurs fairly quickly, so at like 2.4 seconds. As we go out further and we look at these different characteristics of everything, what we do find is if we know to be competitive that we need to be around 3 seconds, it's of no use for our top speed to be occurring after the race is ended. So one thing we'd want to look at is draw an imaginary line up here and try to figure out about where 3 seconds is and make sure that we're actually hitting the top speeds that we're trying to achieve. The 31 tooth gear might do very little for us because it looks like the top speed is actually hitting slightly out here, whereas if with the 25 tooth we've hit top speed. So we'd have to run some more numbers and more calculations to determine if it would be more useful to have a higher top speed or have a speed that's faster longer.